Hello again, everybody. This is Nectaria with Sophistication, and I have a bit of a different video for you this week. This week, I'm sharing with you how I make my liquid soap using the cold process method. Many resources are out there that show how to do the hot process method, but I really enjoy using the cold process method. So I learned about this method in a Facebook group. I will share the link below in case you would like to join that group to learn a bit more about it and ask any questions that you may have. But this is a bit of a longer video because I did want to share with you kind of each step. When it was pretty repetitive, I tried to take that out for you, but I hope that this is entertaining enough but helpful enough for you if it's something that you're interested in making. If you like this video, please click like below and feel free to subscribe to my channel and leave any comments that you may have. I do check the comments and I do try to get back to them fairly quickly, just depending on my schedule, but I will get back to you. So come on in and I'll show you how I made my liquid soap. I am making soap using the cold process method. Yes, liquid soap using the cold process method. So in here I have mango butter. I'm going to add some olive oil. I have heard good things about using hemp oil, so I'm trying that as well. And then castor oil, because I just love me some castor oil. And what I have in here is my lye water solution, which has powdered sugar in there. So this is cold process. So same idea as bar soap. The difference is, this is, actually I'm doing a dual lye solution. So this is, normally if it was bar soap, it would be sodium hydroxide, but it's actually, if liquid soap is normally potassium hydroxide, and this is a combination of both sodium and potassium hydroxide, which I have been told makes for a bit of a thicker soap. So one of the things I have not liked about the liquid soap I've made so far is that it is very, very thin. So now I am just going to stick blend this. So I'm gonna do 3 to 4 minutes max. Now the other thing that's different about liquid soap is that I'm not adding my fragrance. I'll add it later after I dilute my soap. I'm going to let this sit for 30 minutes. I'm going to cover it up and set a timer for 30 minutes, and it will probably separate a bit, and I will blend it together again and repeat that process until it stays together. I'll put that aside and start working on a bar soap. And actually probably about an hour. So let's check this out. Ooh, I think it's actually fine. I think I can just leave it, but let's just do a little. No, I think I'm good. That's gelling. No need to yeah, that's fine. So I am actually just gonna leave this overnight. Okay, this is a few days later because things just got busy for me, and this is what my soap looks like. And I've done a zap test, even though I was going to do a pH test, but I just haven't figured out that pH meter. And so first thing I'm going to do, I actually sprayed this with rubbing alcohol because now we're going to start adding water, and so we want to make sure that we keep things as sanitary as possible. I've also sprayed this with rubbing alcohol. And what I need to do is weigh the paste. But I am transitioning this to here because I'm going to add water. It's going to obviously get to be a much bigger volume. So it won't fit in there anymore. So I've tared my scale, and I am just going to put all of this in there. Now I've made other recipes where this is an even harder kind of paste, so you know it doesn't, and I've made ones that were much softer. When I made a Castile, you know, full olive oil soap, it was almost gooey. So you know, if you decide to make this and it's not this consistency, I don't think that that's a problem. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Okay, so I am at 773. I am going to write that down because you need this information. Oh, actually 772. Not that that's a big deal, but 772 grams. Now, when you are going to dilute your paste, you're going to add the water in kind of batches. And one of the things I messed up the last time was I didn't wait until all the water had fully absorbed from the first time I added it to when I added the second batch, which made it harder for the paste to absorb the rest of that water. So what we are going to do is we're kind of going to plan, if there's 772 grams, then I'm going to do 772 times 2 is 1544. So my plan is to put 1544 grams in here of water, but it could be less because it depends on the consistency that I end up getting. So what I will start with is just putting the weight of my oils, of my paste in there in water. So I had 772 grams of paste. I'm going to add 772 grams of water. For true cold process liquid soap, I would add cold water to this, but I'm impatient. So I add a combination of cold and hot water, so it's kind of like warm, and I feel like that the paste absorbs that faster, but that's just my own thing, and people would say I'm not truly doing cold process because of that, but that's what I do. Anyway, I'm gonna start with a bit of regular room temp water, which is actually cold, 60 something degrees. Probably my water. I'm just gonna put like 200 of that in, just to, I know I don't have all 700 grams of the hot water anyway. And then I have a kettle that has been going for the water. Okay, so I have added 772 grams of water, and I am gonna mark that down so that I know how much I've added so far. So in round one, I added 72 grams. I am just gonna cover this up and let it rest. And what should happen is this paste should start to absorb some of this water. Actually, all of this water. I am not going to add any more water until essentially I don't see any water in there anymore because the paste has fully absorbed it. I will come back every once in a while and just mix it in to make sure that it's all getting access to that. And those bubbles are just because I, you know, threw water in there. So I can just spray that with, I have isopropyl alcohol, 99%. Not that that matters, I guess, but to just get rid of those bubbles. And I am just gonna cover that. And I'm gonna let it sit, and I'm gonna basically come back every once in a while and break up globs into the water. Okay, it's been about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And so I'm just gonna come in here, kind of mix it up a bit, try and break up some of those clumps, help it, you know, be able to absorb some more of that water. And again, the worst thing you can do right now, as I learned the hard way, is add more water. And then we'll let it sit some more. So still's got work to do there. And I'll come back again a bit later to mix that up again. Okay, we are another 45 minutes later. And I just want to see if we can check on this. So still has water to be absorbed. So still do not add water yet. You want to make sure all of that water is absorbed and all you have left is a paste. Otherwise it will be tough to figure out how much water to put in, but also more likely to have clumps later, I found. So let's check back again a bit later. I'm gonna go make some bath bombs and I'll check again later. I will not show you the next check. I'll just show you the next time I'm gonna add water. Okay, it is several hours later because I got doing other things. So it's like 10 o'clock at night now. But let's check this. So look at that. All of that water has been sucked up by this. So we are going to add our next round of water. And it's 10 o'clock at night, so I'm not even gonna check it till tomorrow. But normally what I would do is, like, this was 772 grams of paste when I measured it earlier, when I weighed it earlier. And I added in 772 grams of water so far. And normally I would add another 772 now. But I have been struggling with consistency. I like a thicker soap. So I am going to, right now, instead of adding 772, I'm going to add half of 772. I can always add more water later, and I probably will. So I'm going to add 386 grams instead of the 772. And so now I am going to mix that again, just to kind of help this paste get started with kind of soaking up all that water. Again, this is distilled water. Now, again, it's the first time I'm saying that, but it is distilled water. And I am going to spray my thing to get rid of those bubbles, but there I go again. I'm gonna cover this up and I am going to bed. So I'll check it in the morning. This is the next morning, almost 12 hours later. And I'm gonna just mix this all in and probably just give it about another hour or two to just finish up like absorbing the rest of that water, because there's a teensy bit left in here. Given my last experience, I'm not adding water till it's all been absorbed. Okay, we are back again. I'm just gonna mix this again. Looks good. All absorbed. So now it's time to add the next batch of water. And given the paste that it looks like here, I am going to just add the full 386. That will make it so that I am, in essence, adding with this double the amount of water as the paste. It ended up being 400. That's okay. I'm gonna note that down just so I have accurate records and can figure it out for future. Spray that, get rid of those bubbles. There we go. I'm gonna leave that again, and I'm gonna be checking back probably a little more often to try and kind of mix that paste a bit more to help it be able to absorb all that water. Okay, this water has been fully absorbed, and it's obviously still too thick. So I am going to add some more water, but what I'm gonna do is now start adding it like 100 grams at a time, because I just don't want to add too much and then you have to deal with trying to evaporate the water out of it, and I just don't want to deal with that. I'm going to add 100 grams of water, cover it, do the same thing as normal, but I am going to take notes of how much I'm adding in so that in the future when I make this recipe again, I can probably know about how much extra water I'm going to have to add in. I'm gonna cover it again and come back and just check that. And I'm gonna keep on doing that. I won't show you all the steps because it's basically gonna be the same kind of thing until I get to a consistency I like, which is when I will bring you back next. Okay, I am back. It's been actually about a week because things just got really busy. A little less than a week, but this is how it looks. You really want like a medium honey look. I mean, look at that. That is awesome. And what I'm gonna do now is add my preservative. And then I'm going to, before I sequester this, I'm going to add my fragrance. Now you can wait to add the fragrance, but many fragrances thicken up the soap that I have found. So I prefer to add my fragrance beforehand so I can re-add some water if I need to get the right consistency, so that it actually, when it's done sequestering, I don't worry about adding water again and things like that. So first I am going to add my preservative, and I am using Liquid Germall Plus, and it doesn't need much. Now, from the directions I have seen, it says to add it to a smaller portion of the soap and then slowly add that back in to the larger batch. And now I'm going to add it back into my main batter of soap, but from what I've seen, you want to do it in batches. So let's do it in batches. I am now going to add my fragrance, which I'm going to use lavender essential oil. And I'm gonna do it at 1% of this, of the batch. Now let's see if this thickens up the soap. For sure, when I have added lavender essential oil to a sequestered soap, oh, see already I can tell it's thickening up. It has definitely thickened up on a sequestered soap. See how it's getting thicker there? So I'm just gonna mix that in a bit more. And see, it's not falling off of my spoon anymore because it has gotten thicker from that fragrance. So I'm just going to mix it around some more, and then I am going to add some more water. I think I'm just going to do, I'm going to add 30 grams of water to just see what that does. And now I will stir it in just like before, cover it, let it absorb what it's going to absorb, and check it again. I feel like I should have added 50 grams, but I'm going to leave it like this for now. Okay. Let's cover this up, and we'll check back. It has been a few days again because just competing priorities. And what I did was I ended up adding, let's see, check my notes, 180 grams of distilled water. And what I also did was that I just kind of took the top off every once in a while and sprayed it with some 99% isopropyl alcohol just to get rid of all those bubbles that you saw in there before. And now look at that. It's like honey. And that's what I want. So now I don't want to stir it around too much and create more bubbles. What I'm gonna do is just transfer this into some mason jars so I can let it sequester for a while. It looks so good. This is the best batch I think I've made so far. Okay, so that is my liquid soap, and I just kind of note when I made it and what's in it, and I'll try it out in about a month and a half to 2 months, I think. This is that liquid soap, and I'm gonna test it out now. Let's open this up. Let's see if I can open it up here. Maybe you can see a little better. How it looks right now. It smells good. Okay, I'm gonna try and get a little bit into a little container here. Feels good. Good lather. Not too thin, which is what I was worried about, why I tried the dual lye. So I think I like that dual lye method. So yeah, I am excited. Now I gotta make more. Isn't that so cool? Like, so it really is easy to make. If you've made cold processed soap, it's very similar. The one thing that I did not talk about in the video while I was making this is that when I added that fragrance and it thickened up, and so I had to add more water, what I needed to do, and I did it off camera, was calculate if I needed to add more preservative given I had added more water. So that is the other reason to note down all the water volumes that you are adding in, is because that will impact the volume of your total soap batch, which may require you to add more preservative depending on how much water you had to add. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I know that it's a bit different, so leave a comment below if you want to continue to see other things that I am doing. I'm planning to make a few videos on perhaps my bath bombs and other things. I've been doing a lot of bath bombs lately. But if you like this video, click the like button below, and I look forward to seeing what you guys think of this. Thanks for watching and have a great day.